Hi, my name is Dean Mead, and I am your professor for topics in governmental financial analysis. Welcome to the course. You may have had me previously for Intro to Governmental Accounting and Auditing, or for advanced topics in governmental accounting. And if you have, bear with me so I can introduce myself to the students who haven't had me before. This teaching gig at Rutgers I've been doing since 2008, but my day job is as Senior Research Manager at GASB, where I've been since 1998, and I'm also a coordinator of GASB's Advisory Council. I am a financial statement user by training. At least that's what I was before I joined the GASB so many years ago. So the perspective I come from is somebody who uses accounting and financial reporting information, as opposed to somebody who is a preparer or an auditor of that information. And I suppose that makes me in some way qualified to have created this course for Rutgers in governmental financial analysis and to teach it. The course is divided into 13 units, spread between now and December. The first unit you'll see is really kind of a refresher in governmental accounting, and I use a set of slides that are the basis of a day-long accounting training that I do for municipal bond analysts, and so I'm teaching them the rudiments of accounting and financial reporting, but in the context of how that information is valuable to them as users of that information who make decisions or perform analyses. Each of the following units then explores a particular aspect of financial analysis of governments. I've arranged things so that nothing is due during Thanksgiving week. There are no readings, no discussions or assignments or anything like that. And then there's a final exam, and I'll mention more about that, and that is about 3 weeks into December. So your grade is spread among 4 components of the assignments for this course. The discussion threads for each week. There is, except for the Unit 2, there are 2 discussion threads. Other units, there is 1 unless it's a week when an assignment is due, and then there's no discussion thread that week. The 4 written assignments, each of which are 10% of the grade. A culminating course project, which is 15%, and then the final exam, which is 20% of your grade. There are 2 required texts for the course, and hopefully if you haven't already ordered them, you will do so as soon as you're finished watching this welcome message. One is called An Analyst Guide to Government Financial Statements, a book that I first wrote for the GASB in 2001 and have updated twice since then, and this is the most recent version from 2018. You can order that online from the GASB, and there's more information in the syllabus about how to do that. And that'll probably take, once you've ordered, maybe about a week to arrive. So the initial readings from that book are available electronically on the website for the course, so that you'll be able to do those readings while you're waiting for the book to come. The other book, called The Handbook of Fiscal Health, is available pretty much at any online bookseller. I've seen it on Amazon, and so you should be able to get that within a few days. There are other required readings from various sources. None of those have to be purchased. They're either available on the course website in the Files section under Readings, or there's a link to them where they're available free somewhere online. And then for, I think, pretty much every unit, I also provide some optional readings. So if you really want to dig in depth into the topic for that week, there are some additional readings either from the Handbook of Fiscal Health or from other sources that will really allow you to to explore a particular topic in greater depth. There are lectures for each of the units. They are recorded and available online. At the moment, uh, two of the last three are not narrated, but I think perhaps between now and when we get to those units, I may go ahead and narrate them. The lecture slides in those lectures pretty much speak for themselves, but I think maybe since I narrated all of the other lectures, I should probably go ahead and do that as well. The slides for the first unit, the review of governmental accounting and reporting, are just slides that are available in the file section, and they're not narrated. Forgive me for not narrating what constitutes essentially a 7-hour course. It's already well over 150 slides, which are easy enough to go through when you're just sitting in front of them, but would take a lot longer to listen to me discuss. The slides for every lecture are available in the files section of the course website as well. As I mentioned before, there are threaded discussions. These are important. They're a quarter of the grade for the course. And what I'm really looking for here is for a discussion and not just responding to the question. So for each threaded discussion, you are expected to respond 3 times, and in order to get full credit for the week. So there's an initial entry by midnight on Thursday. That's your response to the question, and then you need to post at least twice by midnight on Sunday, twice in addition to that initial post, and those represent your discussion of the things that you're reading that other people have posted as well, your engagement with your fellow students and with me as the professor. There is an opportunity for extra credit. This is really the only opportunity for extra credit in the course, that if you have additional meaningful, and I stress meaningful, responses beyond the 3 that are required to receive full credit, I will provide you with some extra credit as well. I also want to mention there is a discussion thread in Unit 1, but it's not a graded thread. There's no question posed beyond asking you to introduce yourself to your fellow students. But please do respond to that by Sunday night of the first week. Again, as I mentioned before, it's really important that you participate fully in the discussion thread. This is not something you can just skip and expect to get a good grade in this course. You need to participate fully in the threaded discussion in order to get an A in this course. And if you look at it, number of discussion threads, you're talking about 2% of your grade with every single one of those discussion threads, and that's a little bit too much to just throw away. I mentioned before there are 4 assignments. Each of them addresses a major aspect of financial analysis. They're due in weeks 4, 6, 8, and 10, and the assignments themselves become available a couple of weeks before each of that. So, for instance, the assignment number 1, which is due in week 4, at the end of Unit 4, is available in Unit 2. Each of the assignments is worth 10%, and they involve a combination of calculating ratios related to that particular aspect of financial analysis, and starting the process of drawing conclusions from looking at that information, looking at it over time, comparing it with similar governments, and starting to assess where the government you're looking at stands financially. We'll all be looking at the same government. It's the city of Culver City, California. And essentially, these assignments will all build up to forming the initial part of your course project. The course project is due near the very end of the semester. It's worth 15% of your grade. You'll get more information about that as we get closer to the assignment being due. I won't wait too long into the semester to provide it to you, but the idea in this course project is to take what you've done in those 4 individual assignments and then supplement it with your own analysis, either looking more deeply at the topics that were covered by the assignments, or, and I think this is even more importantly, looking at the other aspects of financial analysis that we discuss in the other units, and adding that to your analysis so that you end up with a something of a comprehensive examination of the financial health of Culver City. You will see that each of the assignments and the course project has a grading rubric on the website, but essentially all of it boils down to not getting the right answer, at least with respect to drawing your conclusions, unless you have misunderstood or misinterpreted something. You'll find that financial analysis is a matter of perspective. And if you can provide evidence that backs up your point of view, then it's hard for someone else to say you're wrong. They may disagree and they may have reasons for disagreeing, but it's not a matter of being wrong and right. Of course, with respect to calculating particular ratios, the wrong and right is a little bit more black and white there. So getting the ratios right, calculating them the right way, providing thoughtful and well-reasoned explanations for your conclusions, doing what the assignment requires. It continues to amaze me after all these years of teaching, the inability of some students to do what the assignment says to do. So if I've said in an assignment you should do something, you should definitely do it. Because if you don't do it, it's going to cost you points in your grade. So let's not go down that path. If the assignment says do something and do it this way, do it that way. This is not the place where you want to freestyle. And then lastly, things like grammar and punctuation and spelling are not the most important part of the grade, but they are a part of the grade. And my expectation is that you will be, providing me with a professional response in your assignments, and that means it's clean, it's professional looking, it's not full of grammatical errors or misspellings. If you have concerns about your strength in terms of grammar and spelling, have someone else look at your assignments before you turn them in and help you with editing them. If you need to reach me, the easiest way to do so is through my work email, which is dmmead@gasb.org. I will always respond within 24 hours, usually much faster than that. And 99% of the time, whatever issue you have, I can resolve it via email. And if that is not the case, then we'll arrange a time to talk on the phone. With this being a distance course, I'm not there on campus. Most of you probably aren't there on campus, so there aren't really any set office hours. But if you do need time to talk to me, I'm more than happy to do so. I feel like, given that we don't in fact meet in person for a lecture, means that I need to find other ways to support you as students and in my role as the professor in this course. So don't hesitate to reach out to me, and we'll do whatever we need to do, spend as much time as we need to spend to resolve those issues for you. I will note that every one of the assignments in the week that it's due, there is an extra discussion thread where you can pose questions to me about the assignment, and I will do my best to answer them without essentially telling you what you're supposed to say in the assignment. Obviously, if you say, what's the answer to this question, I'm not going to answer that question. I will politely decline. But there are lots of other ways of trying to essentially ask me to answer the question without directly coming out and saying it. And in each of those cases, I will say, well, I can't answer the question for you, but here's what I can say was my intention with that question, or in general, what I'm looking for. So with that, if you haven't read the syllabus already, go ahead and do so. Order the texts, dive into the material, contact me if you need to. I'm looking very much forward to getting to know you over the course of the semester and helping to train you up as future analysts of government finances. Bye bye.